I don't know what this means, but she's qualified in antenatal, which means prenatal education. And then she was retrained as an antenatal teacher, doula, hypnotherapist, and infant massage instructor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Infant
And now
massage.
she's a parent coach. This is where I get frustrated.
Don't even open that can of worms.
Like horrifying.
Horrifying. Not allowed to cry or have emotions in your house?
Like, do you really need to know what Zemoglophical 8 is?
Oh, Jessica.
Everyone has a favorite. Everyone does.
All right, Jessica. We're talking about your favorite topic right now, gentle parenting.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
We're going to watch some clips. Let
Great.
those clips roll.
If you have a strong-willed child, I'm about to give you a parenting hack that's going to change your life, as cliche as that sounds. I'm Rachel. I'm a certified parent coach, and I help parents get their children to listen and learn lessons without having to yell at them, threaten them, or punish them. Here's the hack. Instead of making demands or commands for your strong-willed child, telling them what to do and having to yell at them, threaten them, or punish them in order to get them to do that thing, start asking them questions and getting them to critically think about the scenario for themselves. All children have a basic need for some sense of power and control, but with strong-willed children, this need is even greater. And if you
This goes
are
back
a
to that
strong-willed
PDA
parent,
stuff,
it's
remember?
very likely that you find yourself power struggling with this strong-willed child more often than you'd like. So try this instead. We're about to go to grandma's and I see a lot of toys on the floor. What do you think could happen to your toys if we leave them out with the dog? Yeah, the dog could chew them up.
I don't know.
Are you okay with that? I'm not either. So what should we do
Yeah, I'm
about
fine with
that?
it.
Yeah, fuck you, Mom. Stop
I don't give
asking
a
me
shit.
questions.
Adapt this to your own parenting scenarios and let me know if you find it helpful.
I mean, my strong-willed child, which I have one, would like punch me in the face if I asked that many questions. He'd be like, shut up. Stop asking questions. He has actually said that to me. Stop asking questions. Stop talking. He's told that to me before.
Fucking disrespectful.
I know. He's such a disrespectful little shit.
Listen. Certified parenting, number one, certified parenting coach. I don't even know, like, what is that?
Where's your certification
and, like,
from?
do you have
ma'am?
education, like, do you have a master's in anything?
Right.
Psychological,
Right.
mental healthy?
Mhm.
Okay. She looks like she's going hiking, and she lives in Utah, but she has a full face on with pigtails and a cap. I don't trust anyone giving me any sort of advice who looks like that. A grown-ass woman with braided pigtails.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I mean, everything, like, I don't even know, like, what to say. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, there's so much.
Well, and it's like I get where she's coming from, that a strong-willed kid is not going to respond the way you exactly want when you give them a demand, a command, or a threat or a punishment. Yeah, they're not going to respond in the ideal way. But that doesn't mean that you don't do it. You still give them commands and demands and punishments.
And, like, why that kid's strong-willed in the first place? This is not like I'm talking to her. Like, he didn't come out of your vagina or C-section or whatever being strong. Or maybe they did, but, like, there were formative years that something, like, the way you communicated or reacted or the amount of attention that was placed on undesired things, like, probably reinforced the will of that child. And what you're doing now is saying that you have a strong-willed child, and that was, like, how long? I mean, she probably would spend, I guess, 30 seconds to 45 seconds asking questions about the toys in a passive-aggressive way when she just needs them cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, I am, like, a little in disagreement with you, obviously, right? Like, I think there are kids who are born with a temperament to, like, push boundaries and, like, remember, like, Temperament, how we, like, learned about that? Do you remember? Did you learn about that?
Yeah.
Okay. There's, like, slow to warm up. There's cautious kids. There's, like, agreeable kids. And then there's kids who are,
Yeah, I mean, I agree that there are kids like that, yes.
Yes. And
but
so I think you can have that predisposition, or not predisposition, that you have that disposition, right? To kind of, like, constantly, I mean, I can say I have 3 kids and they are all completely different from each other. Completely different. Parented in the same house by the same 2 people. Could not be more different from each other. One, extremely agreeable, no matter what we ask, He just does it. Okay.
Firstborn.
One
Just saying.
is going to do the exact opposite of every single thing that we ask all day long, every fucking day.
Middle child.
And then the other one like can go either way.
Third,
Sometimes
final.
it's agreement. Yeah. And so like,
But is that birth order?
I don't know, because it wasn't in my family. It was the opposite. I'm
But
the
you had
younger
two.
child, and I was the most agreeable one.
But you didn't have a middle one.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think birth
We
order
just
plays
different.
into it, sure.
Okay.
But I think temperament's also there. I don't think it's just parenting. I think it's like 400 things that come together that produce this like child. But who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why they ended up like that. The point is that like that's kid,
reinforcing
whether
it, though.
they're strong-willed or not, still has to know that there are expectations on them that they have to follow. When they go out in the world, people are going to tell them no. They're going to say, do this, don't do that. If you do that, you're going to get punished. And here's the punishment. They have to know that. And so you have to do it at home too.
Yeah. I mean, the rule of thumb is like, if the adult is safe or whatever, like adults, you follow directions of adults.
Right.
When an adult tells you to do something, you do it
fucking
on the
do
first or second time.
And if you don't, here's the consequence.
Or, yeah, and like there's 1,000 ways that can go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are 1,000 different ways you can provide a consequence. It doesn't mean it's like some punitive like thing.
No.
We'll go into the history of gentle parenting.
Yeah, lay it on us.
I
Where'd that come
originally
from?
thought it was Dr. Becky. Like, I really thought Dr.
Yeah.
Becky was like the pioneer, but apparently it's Sarah Ockwell Smith, who is from Europe. She had an honors degree in psychology from the University of Greenwich. I think that's saying that. She worked in clinical research and development after graduating. I don't know what this means, but she's qualified in antenatal, which means prenatal. Whatever. Education, and then she was retrained as an antenatal teacher, doula, hypnotherapist, and infant massage instructor.
Wow.
Yeah. And
infant
now she's a parent
massage.
coach, speaker, 20 years, and she has kids. So she's not a pediatrician. She's not a
psychologist
neuroscientist,
or-
whatever. She's one of us. And she, I guess, like triggered this movement. I don't know like what like prompted her
Yeah.
to do. I mean, maybe I guess we got to do some more research, but I mean, I guess I don't know. But
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know what propelled this into
and it was
popularity.
2016-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about recently, like just now, how
Like,
recently,
literally
5 minutes ago, when we were trying to come up
Figure
with
out
our
what we're gonna talk
own
about today.
theory about
Yeah.
why gentle parenting has taken off, and we just
Yeah.
decided, or I just decided, like, oh, here's my theory based on nothing. So here
It's not
it is.
based on nothing, though.
Well, it's kind of based on nothing. That there was a lot of research that came out in 2009, and I was saying, like, I remember this. Like, I remember when I guess at that point I was in medical school, going to some kind of talk, and this was like the first time that they had like released this data, and it was a big deal about how kids who are spanked over time end up with a lower IQ, and it actually affects like certain parts in the brain.
It rewired. It can,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes. And so I was like, I wonder if maybe gentle parenting ended up being like a backlash to that, to the harsh parenting. I don't know what you would
Could
call
be.
it. Authoritarian parenting.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. But I wonder if it's also because I wonder if like DCFS reports rose, like from schools, from doctors, from whatever.
After that data came out.
Or just like at the same time.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's when like technology started on, like, I don't know, like cell phones were.
Well, and that might also have been the time when they were actually classifying spanking as abuse.
Right.
Right?
Oh, I don't know.
Because it wasn't always classified like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like spanking with a hand.
Depends on where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I mean, it could be.
So yeah, maybe it was like that. This was
It's
just
a melting
becoming a
pot,
more
I think.
talked about thing, and
Yeah, and
who
like
knows?
people were probably like beat as kids, and were like, I'm never gonna beat my
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
But I want my kid to listen. Like, what are some ways? I don't know. And then this chick, Ockwell, and then Becky like rode her coattails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you, Bex. Good job, girlfriend.
I mean,
So
she
I
millionaire.
just asked my 7.5-year-old daughter to clean up her room, and she said she did, and then she got in the shower. She's literally in the shower right now. I go by her room, and this is what I'm seeing. Let me show you her room. Like, yeah,
You should be
not
ashamed,
a
Becky.
cleaned up room. I want to walk through exactly what I'm going to do next, because I think we've all been in the situation where our kid says one thing to us and then we notice something totally different. Here's what I'm not going to do. You lied to me. Look at the room. Does that look cleaned up? Shame doesn't bring on change. It's simply not effective to come at our kids harshly. We want to stay on the same team as our kid, which usually means accessing our most generous interpretation. I'm going to assume maybe she forgot or there was a miscommunication.
She didn't forget.
Here's the words I'm going to use. Hey, you said you cleaned up your room. I noticed it's not cleaned up. What happened? That's a great formula whenever your kid says
why,
they did
my
something
question
and
is
you notice
why?
it's not true.
Like, why do you have to
X.
do that?
I
don't get it. Like, why?
What happened?
What happened is I didn't feel like it.
Right. Like,
do you
why
mean?
do you have to say all of that? It's just
You
like,
don't.
your room is not cleaned and
the
it needs to
expectation
be
was
cleaned.
to clean it. Right.
End
I
of
said clean it up.
story.
You chose not to. So, like, guess what? You're not going out tonight.
Right.
I don't know. Like,
Right. Or you lose
Yeah.
TV for the day.
Also,
or
and this is
whatever.
another thing that, like, I don't know if this is intentional or whatever, but, like, what are the expectations in our house?
Right.
Is it your room's supposed to be cleaned every day? Like, is that the standard, or is the standard when an adult tells you to do something, you do it? So, is this room cleaning thing a known expectation, and your 16-year-old is choosing to defy it? Like, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
And, like, being also, like, if if you went to a 16-year-old, I noticed your room wasn't clean. What happened?
They'd be like, fuck
They'd be like,
you,
fuck
Mom.
off. Like, just say,
I hate
clean
you.
your room.
Yeah.
I have a client that said that to me. She was like, my mom, like, comes to me and says, hey, did you clean the dishes? And she very well knows I didn't clean the dish.
Right.
But instead of just saying, go clean the dish, she's passive aggressive, and then then we're fighting.
Yeah.
And that's the same that's going to be the same
Yeah.
shit.
It's like, just state the expectation.
Yeah.
If you follow the expectation, great. If you don't, here's the consequence.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, when you go out in the world and you have a job,
Yeah.
is your boss going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, did you not do that assignment that we asked you to do? Do you want to try to do that maybe so the dog
happened?
doesn't rip it up?
Yeah.
You know, it's like the boss is going to be like, no, you're fucking fired. Bye.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not fire, but, like, demerit. I keep saying
Well, it
demerit. I don't know
depends.
why.
Yeah, demerit. Your boss is going to give you a demerit.
Why,
yeah, for sure.
I keep saying that word.
I mean, I think it depends on what type of field you work in.
Obviously,
But
yeah. Okay.
anyway.
Next.
Okay, get ready for one of my all-time favorite
I can't
parenting
wait.
strategies. It is as effective with toddlers as it is teens.
Oh, I bet.
And it is as easy to remember in the moment as it is impactful in the long run. Here it is.
She's a
You
great speaker.
really
I will say.
wish.
Like, she's convincing.
You really wish you could watch another show tonight instead of no more shows. You
I mean, I
really
do a
wish
version of
you
this,
could stay
honestly.
up later instead of it's your bedtime.
You do sometimes say you wish.
You really wish.
You wish you
shows
were different.
someone
Yeah,
you
you
I use that
do.
all the time.
Yeah.
what is really going on for them. And when someone feels like you understand them, they feel connected to you, they feel safer, and they immediately get more flexible. Okay, one caveat.
Wait,
if you're
what's the one
thinking
caveat?
that
Okay.
would not work with my kid. If I said that to my kid,
we
they
are
become
thinking
more
that.
explosive. I have something for you.
Yeah.
Check the details in the caption.
Okay, what is it? Oh.
Oh,
well, what's the
come
caption?
on.
Can we
Are
read
you
it?
fucking serious?
What does it say? Oh,
I
shit.
can't read that.
Take a deep breath. I fucking hate breathing techniques so much. I really do. I think it's just a bunch of malarkey.
Oh, okay. I disagree with you on that, Jessica.
When it comes to this shit, I understand, like, slowing down the parasympathetic nervous system and all of that shit. But if you're thinking, oh, there's no way that worked for my kid.
Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with your child, and I can help. I promise you. Upcoming, all new deep. Oh, she
So
wants you
she
to buy
didn't
something.
even-
She's
yeah.
not even going to tell you what it is. Okay,
No.
thanks. So she's not going to tell us what the caveat is.
Okay, so just because I use this doesn't mean, like, she's saying use it because it'll change your behavior.
Right.
Like, I use it. I'm not expecting immediate compliance and, like,
Right.
okay, Mom. Like, I expect complaints, some stomping, some
Yeah.
whatever. And, like, I don't know. I
And
do that to validate
You
them.
restate the expectation.
Yeah. You wish it was different. TV's off.
Yeah. That's it. But also, like, do we really need the validation part? I'm, like, asking honestly as a parent because I don't
Not
do
all
that.
the time. I don't think you need to do it all. I think it depends
Okay.
on the kid. I think it
Yes.
depends. So, like, roads, for instance, I use it more heavily with him purely because of delays.
Yeah.
And like, I already know that he has a super low frustration tolerance based on speech delays. So like, I give him that extra little validation. I also don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
I do it when like I can see that
They're
it's going to
really-
be a
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And like any little like sprinkle
Yeah.
that like, maybe to make him feel, I don't know.
Yeah.
What I do know is that whether he likes it or not, it changes something or it doesn't, he'll feel validated. It doesn't mean like it's going to change anything.
Right.
But that's why. I don't know that, I don't think you need to do it all the time. Definitely don't do it all the
Yeah,
time.
it depends on the kid. Like, I feel like my oldest, like, doesn't, like,
No.
if we give an expectation, he's just like,
yeah.
okay. Or
Well, you
if
would
he
need to
breaks
do it with
it
him.
and we say, stop, he's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the middle one, I might validate a little bit
Yes,
more because he's
because
way
of the
more,
kid.
way more feelings. Like, there's a lot of intensity, you know?
Yeah.
And it depends on the situations. Like, sometimes when it's just like, clean the playroom, like, and then he doesn't, it's like, no, clean the fucking playroom. Like, we don't need to have a conversation about it. Just
No.
clean the playroom. Like, I don't have to validate your feelings about cleaning the playroom. You just have to clean the playroom.
I mean, like if I said, same thing, clean the playroom, and then it's complaining, whatever, I kind of do it in like a, maybe it's an asshole way. And I'm like doing the day. I'm like, you wish it was different.
mm-hmm.
It kind of like sucks for you, but
yeah.
this is, so it's not, I'm not saying it in like,
Yeah.
sweetie,
You wish it was different.
No, it's like, you wish it was different, matter of fact. And
Right.
I get it.
And
Don't
still
want
gotta
to do
clean the
it,
playroom.
and you got to do it.
Yeah.
Correct. Next.
Parents, no matter how old your kid is, you need to know these 3 lines for responding to rudeness and talking back. These will help you de-escalate the situation and immediately set you on the path for a
You can't
positive
guarantee
interaction with your
anything,
kid.
first of all. That's what I hate about her.
I hear you, and you must be really upset to say something like that to me. 2, look, all I'm saying is I know you're a good kid, even when you say some not so good things. 3, I know there's another way you can say that to me. Do you want to try again?
Fuck off. This is the shit. Go ahead.
That works for one specific type of kid. Like my oldest, if he was like really, really upset about something and he said something rude to me, I could say something like that and I would actually get through to him.
In that way?
I
With
wouldn't
that
talk.
tone
I
of
don't
voice?
talk like her.
But people are trying to emulate. Okay.
But what I'm saying is like with him specifically,
Okay.
because he wants to please.
Yes,
and,
fine.
You know, he's a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Like I could say something similar to that and actually get through to him. My middle child would be like giant middle finger, F you, don't care what you're saying.
Needs
Yes.
like very clear, behaviorally specific expectations.
Yep. And like
No
containment.
wiggle room.
Like
Yep.
he needs containment.
Yep.
So it's like that is not going to
you
work
can't
for every kid.
guarantee it.
That is not going to work for every kid.
And like the younger the kid, the less. So like when we talk, going back to that pigtails girl with the strong-willed kid, if you're talking like that to a 2-year-old who spits on you, or I don't know, like calls you
bites
a name,
you or kicks you or whatever,
they're gonna think that, oh, well, she's not mad, or like, oh, I don't really have a consequence, like whatever, and so then it's just reinforcing it. And when the younger they are, the shorter the communication.
Yes, needs to be. Yes,
simpler the words. Like
it should be 3 words.
3 words that they understand too. Like what? Can we rewind just a sec?
Yeah, like a 4-year-old's not going to know what the F you're talking about.
Yeah, but keep going. Go back to 1.
That works.
You de-escalate the situation and immediately
set
you on the path for a positive interaction with your kid. 1, I hear you, and you must be really upset to say something like that to me. 2, look, all I'm saying is I know you're a good kid.
Like they don't even know, like at 2, like good and bad is like a little abstract of a concept. Also, why, like she's kind of contradicting herself because you're not supposed to say good or bad.
Right.
So you like, so which is a Becky. And like, I just, like this is, like if go to the 3rd one real quick.
Even when you say some not so good things. 3.
Okay.
There's another way.
2-year-old doesn't. 2-year-old doesn't.
No.
2-year-old doesn't know to like my 2-year-old isn't consciously thinking, oh, mom set a limit and turned off the TV or whatever before I wanted to.
Right.
She did that. So I'm going to throw a toy because I know that she's going to get mad about it.
Yeah.
No. Like, that's called, they don't have any impulse control and they don't have
it's
any
just like,
communication.
I'm angry, so I'm throwing a toy.
Yeah, that's all they
Period.
know how to do. So,
Right.
like, they don't, you're confused.
Okay, the
Yes,
other
ma'am.
part of this is like she's assuming during this like 500 word monologue she's having that the
another
kid is
thing.
just standing there quiet.
Correct.
Listening.
And listening, absorbing it.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, what's for dinner? Like, in their head. That's why I hate. Okay, so, like, time out. And I do it sometimes because, like, I don't, like, whatever. Sometimes
just
you
need
to
a
calm
break.
the fuck down.
Yeah.
But, like, and so if you use it in that, like, with that in mind and not, like,
Yes.
think about what you've done.
No.
Like,
It's just like you need a break from the situation and
like,
I need a break from you.
everyone needs to regulate.
We need a break.
Like, they're not fucking thinking about what they did.
No.
Like, you're talking and it's like the Charlie Brown teacher.
Right.
Might as well be. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's my whole thing is like she's doing this whole speech and it's like, whose kid is actually just sitting there and listening to you and taking it?
Correct. What about
There's
the
a-
nonverbal kid?
Right.
What about a kid who, like, or has a significant speech delay and like or motor planning and anyways, it's such a blanket style and intervention that people who don't know about delays and whatever will use this thinking that it's going to work
for every single kid in every single situation. And
on
it
their,
doesn't.
like with their kid who has autism or whatever. And like that ain't working, boo-boo.
Right.
Real cheater.
Or their kid who is like continuing to have a tantrum while you're saying these things to them.
Exactly. Yeah. That's and I think I don't know if we said this on camera, but it's like she gives you like step one. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what do you do like if the behavior continues?
Right.
Or
Correct.
intensifies.
Correct.
Or it just doesn't fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I bought her book for research.
Like
annotated
it.
Mm-hmm. You better believe I did. Okay, so this is chapter, The Early Years Matter is the name of the chapter. It is chapter 4. Okay, so this is talking about, perfect, tantrum. Okay, all right. So the behavior example, actually this other one may be better. Okay. Behavior example. A child is tantruming about wanting ice cream for breakfast. Parent response number 1. This is like her version of like the wrong way or whatever.
Okay.
I won't talk to you while you have a fit. Go to your room and come out when you're being reasonable. Attachment lesson number 1, bad parent. When I want something, I push people away. I become bad. I am left abandoned and alone. People only want to be around me when I'm easy and compliant.
I'm rolling my eyes right now.
I know, because like, also, like, what age is this kid? Number 1.
Yes.
And if they want ice cream for breakfast, I'm assuming they're like 4, 5, 6.
Right.
7, 8.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't know what abandoned means. They don't know what. They definitely don't know what compliant means.
No.
Probably. And they don't know any of that stuff. So, what she says to do is, this is the appropriate way she says. Parent response number 2. I know, sweetie. You wish you could have ice cream for breakfast. That's not an option right now. You're allowed to be upset about it. What that teaches the child is, I'm allowed to want things for myself. Wanting things for myself is allowed in close relationships. Fine. Like, it's too long. It's 25
It's too long.
words.
You can transmit that message
Yeah.
without saying all that shit.
You wish it was different?
Yeah.
That's why I say that shit all the time.
Or like, it does suck.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't say it to a 4-year-old, but like, stinks, whatever.
I say that to my kids.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, it sucks.
See, but the thing is like, I don't say that, but I like curse around them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Or I say it's a bummer. It's a bummer.
Yeah, I say that
bummer.
too. I think I say that because you say it a lot. Too many words. It doesn't matter. Like, none of the, like, it doesn't matter. I know, sweetie, you wish you could have ice cream for breakfast. Obviously. That's not an option right now. Duh. You're allowed to be upset about it. Okay. I mean, I don't think, it doesn't, like, maybe, I guess, it allows them to know that they can complain and defy or something. But, like, now what? Like, what do you say next?
Well, and I just think, like, do you think that, and I'm asking this honestly.
She's probably
do you
in the
think
book.
that, like, too much validation of feelings
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
maybe makes the feelings grow?
Yes. Here we
Okay.
go. Validation chapter. It's called labeled Tell the Truth. And it is chapter 9. Okay. I put a bad validation example as the thing. All right. Let's say you have a 3-year-old building with blocks and your partner starts vacuuming the hallway. So I feel like this is a pretty good example because it permeates or whatever. Like the sound of a vacuum, like we're used to it, but like some kids are like...
Yeah. Get dysregulated by it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So... Okay, so the vacuum noise is accompanied by a story we reflexively tell ourselves. This sound is a cleaning appliance and we are safe. That's what adults tell yourself. A young child, on the other hand, receives this as an unexpected change. She might cry or cling to a parent or jump in the opposite direction. In order to confirm your child's perception, you might say something like, "Oh, we were playing with blocks and then Daddy turned the vacuum on. That was loud. And you didn't expect that to happen." Loud things we don't expect can feel scary. I know. That was a vacuum, and vacuums make loud noises. I'm right here with you. You're safe. That's 48 words. 48 words. 48 words. She's
and
3.
It's like, what is the goal?
Right.
What's the goal of like all of that validation?
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, you're making your kid feel safe.
Heard.
Are you maybe making them feel like they can't handle fucking anything that comes their way?
Yeah. Like
anything.
Yeah.
A noise. They can't handle it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, are you kind of teaching them that, like, you know, we are going to have feelings about everything in life. And, like, our feelings are so powerful that we can't cope. You know?
Or it's like I'm trying to, like, think about this from, like, a sensory perspective. Like, I think you can be like, oh, that's scary. It's okay. Like, like my 2-year-old, like, weirdly enough, like, I would think she'd be more, not stimulated by stuff, but like Rick makes smoothies and like that, like she cries like every time the bullet goes.
Like, okay, my child who has an autoimmune condition that affects his brain, okay? And one of his symptoms is he gets like extremely dysregulated with sounds. And it's not predictable. Like it's not all sounds in all situations.
Yeah.
But when we can like see it coming when it comes. But like we have taught him like he has these little earmuffs.
Yes.
And I'm like, I just like give it to him. You know, like we don't have to have a fucking conversation about it.
Yeah.
And like I have told him many times, I'm like, the world is not going to be quiet for you. You have to figure out how to regulate. Like, if you need your earmuffs because it's dysregulating, put your earmuffs on. Like, we don't have to have a conversation about it, though.
Yeah. Let's be clear, though. He's not, like, the way he reacts to noise or, like, loud, noise is how does he react to it?
Like extreme, aggression.
Okay.
He goes psycho.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
He's not like, Mommy, and you're like,
he's
put headphones on.
No,
like, that's not
you're
like
right.
what,
yes. He's not like trembling in fear.
No. Like,
he's
buck up,
freaking
bitch.
the fuck out.
Yeah. And he's older. Well, he's not that much older.
I mean, he's not that old. He's only 6. Like 7. Yeah. No, 6.
Yeah. And so, like, so my 2-year-old, like, I'll just pick her up and we won't even, like, talk about it.
Yeah.
You
or
know?
you can just be like, it's okay.
Yeah, no big.
It's okay. Just the vacuum. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you don't, I don't know. I do think, there is a danger to validating too much.
Mm-hmm. What's too much though?
Validating feelings about every fucking thing in the whole world that's uncomfortable. Yeah. Like, because then it's like I don't know. I think that you lose grit. You lose grit. You lose the ability to just like buck up and deal with shit. Mm-hmm. And like when you go into the adult world, you're going to be dealing with a lot of fucking shit.
What's the line? You know what I mean? Like
I know.
What's the line?
It's hard. Yeah, because there isn't a distinct line.
No, there's not.
And it's different for every kid.
It is different for every kid. And this is this is a not listening example. Wow, you've been working so hard on that tower. I know it's going to be tricky to pause and take a bath. If we do a quick bath now, you'll have time to build more before bed. Well, so now you're telling him it's going to be tricky before you've even transitioned. So now you're telling him that, I don't believe that you're going to be able to do this on your own. I think that you're going to have a problem transitioning. So, like, that's becoming, like, that kid's mindset. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do it. She's just telling me I can't do it.
Right.
And then what happens if he says, I'm not done building? Like, I'm not going to take a bath.
Right.
Like, now what? And she doesn't give you any of that.
And I don't understand why you can't just be like, we're taking a break. We're going to take a bath. We'll come back after.
Or not. You know what I mean? Like,
or not. Or like, we're taking a break. We're going to take a bath.
Oh,
and we're done for tonight.
Whoopsie poopsie. Just breaking shit, y'all. That seems to be pretty thematic in her stuff. Like this other one, you can clear the dishes now or come back to do it after your shower. After your shower? Okay. Well, first of all, like she's just assuming someone's going to say before or after. Like she's giving you an answer to your kid who she don't know and saying, well, they're going to say before or after. You don't know my kid.
Right.
They're literally have headphones on.
Right.
Ignoring me.
Right.
That's why I'm reading your book, Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah. After your shower? Okay. I trust that you'll do that. Sounds good. You don't get a choice for everything.
No.
You do not get a choice for everything.
No.
If the expectation is to clean the dishes after dinner, then clean the dishes
right.
after dinner.
And if it's to do them before
whatever.
Wait, not before dinner. Never mind. I was thinking before bath. But yes.
Yeah, but whatever. Before bath. Like that just.
Yeah, it's like too much choice, too much validation, too much feelings. She's all about the feelings.
Yeah. Correct.
And sometimes it's like, no, this is the rule, and like fucking follow the rule, or here's the consequence. Period.
Yeah, I know. I mean, so I think the issue with this stuff, like we know because we do it.
Yeah.
Like we've been in the game for so long.
Well, and we've seen the
pitfall.
parenting techniques, right? We've seen other parenting practices other than this.
Yeah.
You know, and learned about them.
Yeah.
Like in depth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like I'm a big proponent of child-parent relationship therapy. I don't know why they call it. It's a therapy, but it's more of like a theory.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I connect to it. But yeah. And like when people see TikToks or of like her and different versions of her.
Yeah.
Like they're not like picking apart words.
Right.
And saying like, wait, pause. Is that my kid? Okay, wait. What is my kid like?
Yeah.
How are they going to respond? They're just like, okay, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And then read straight from the book. And they're like, well, why isn't it working?
Yeah.
And so now you're triggering guilt and confusion and overwhelm and hopelessness, all of this shit.
Right.
And like this stuff also like can accommodate, like if you do have a strong-willed kid and you're giving them 85 choices all the time and you're validating all the time and you're accommodating all the time.
You're making it worse.
Yep.
You are making it worse.
Yep.
Like if you have a strong-willed kid, it's very clear. Expectation, consequence. Expectation, consequence.
Yeah.
Reward.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And it doesn't need to be like a fucking toy.
No. And there should be like minimal talking.
Yeah.
Like very little talking.
Yeah. Like, and it was the other one that said like, if you're a strong-willed adult dealing with a strong-willed kid, well, first, like, I don't know. It's like, check yourself. Like, you need to be doing the opposite of what the kid's doing. If that kid is on 100, like,
yeah.
Like, oh, that hurts
I know.
Not that, like, everyone's doing that all the time.
Right.
But, like, matching it is just cause for explosion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then everyone's in crisis and nothing gets done.
Yep. All right. We have a audience member clip. Let it roll. This is from Mac A.
Hey, Little Brain, huge fan. Listen, I have a question. My son's really into this show called Vampirina.
Oh, yep.
Which is about a group of vampire rock stars.
Yes.
And they have a lot of extra catchy tunes.
Yes. They do.
And we listen to these tunes every morning and then on the way to school. And then when we come home from school, we watch the show that has the songs in it.
Right.
Yeah, how do you not
And to be quite frank, they're burrowing a hole in my brain.
Yeah.
How do I pivot my son into a different form of torture for me?
Right.
I mean, two things. You can go cold turkey and say like mommy music, either like silence or mommy music.
Yep.
In the car. Or you can start like scaffolding, like, do you want to listen to Vampirist Diaries songs on the way to school or on the way home from school today? And so they get to pick one, and then you start scaffolding it down.
Well, also, like, when your kids are young enough, like, guess who has control over what they watch?
Correct.
You.
Yeah.
You do. So, like...
Oh, it's broken. say that shit all the
we've eliminated so much that
Yeah.
like I don't want to fucking listen to this anymore.
no.
So we no longer have Netflix on our TV. Sorry, there's no Netflix because I
Yeah.
got sick of whatever show they were
Yeah,
watching.
I do
and
that
then
too.
I went and took off whatever other app because I was like, nope, I don't want to hear that anymore.
Yeah.
Like this morning, my oldest one watched this dumb fucking cartoon that I can't
What is
stand,
it?
Gumball, and I'm like,
I
it's
don't know
so
what that is.
stupid. And I told him, I was like, we're done with Gumball.
Yeah.
Don't turn it on again, or you lose the TV.
Yeah.
Period. I'm tired of hearing it.
Yours are that one's older than mine. But like if Rhodes is like, he gets on these kicks, like if it's Spider-Man for like a week, or like Bluey for a week, or like we're watching this movie for a week, like after 2 days, I'm like, no. I don't even say, sometimes I don't even like make it like silly.
You don't
I'm just like,
acknowledge
no.
it. You just
nope, mommy's turn.
Yep.
Peter Pan or
Sorry.
Jungle Book.
Or no TV. That's
Or
the
no
other
TV.
option. That's what
Yeah,
I
I
always
do
tell
that
my
too.
kids. When they
You don't
complain, I'm
wanna
like,
watch it.
okay, other option is no TV.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
don't have to watch.
Yeah, we'll
You
turn
can
it
go
off.
play.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But I don't even, if it's like Peter Pan or like something,
Yeah.
appropriate that I'm tolerant to. No, I don't want to watch it. Well, go play then.
Yeah. Well,
I don't
that's
care.
cool with me.
No skin off my back, bro.
Nope. I'm good with no TV.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, he ends up sitting and watching it, and then he's like, "Ew."
Yeah. Oh, I love this
Yeah,
one.
this is-
Ooh.
So-
But thanks,
Yeah,
Mac.
that was such a
Thank
great question.
you. Please keep
XOXO.
sending us
Oh, yeah.
questions, video
All
questions.
the people,
We would
not
love
just
to
Mac.
answer them in our future episodes.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Little Brain Campaign.
Please like, subscribe, and follow.
See you next time.